When you face your fears, the death of fear is certain. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dr. Lydia Show. I'm Dr. Lydia, and today our topic that we'll be talking about is fear. How does fear impact our lives and business, and whether or not we move forward or not? You know, this is something that I think is so important that I share with you or even talk to you about, because so many people experience it. I've experienced it, not just when I just started out. This is something that literally happens every single time that I am making a decision. You know, it's always that innate thing to say, well, am I making the right decision? People just think that because I've done so much and I've gone so far in my life that these fear or these uncertainties or these anxieties don't affect me. So I think if we talk about it, you know, maybe something that I say or maybe that I've done resonate with you to be able to help you. So when I was researching this topic, because even though I have a little bit of knowledge about everything, I don't claim to know everything, right? I always go on to research and to see what someone else is saying, or maybe read a little bit more article or scholarly review stuff. I do it all the time. And I don't know, for some people it probably is boring, but it is how I like to spend my days, to be able to garner information, to be able to share with you. So when I was doing that, I thought, is this something, especially for somebody that's thinking of starting a business, or if it's a brand new idea for you, if you've never had anybody in your family to ever really do a business, I know I'm thinking to myself, what's the consensus? What does the average business owner, entrepreneur thinks when it comes to fear? And what I found was that there's this Harvard Business Review that did a study in the UK, Canada, and the US. And it says something about 65% of entrepreneurs or business people like you and I, they really feel the same way, 65%. Some of the things that some of the fears or the valid fears that they have are like financial stability. Will I be able to start a new venture and possibly have my own life? The ability to fund the venture itself. We are afraid whether we are even capable of personal abilities and or our self-esteem. And I'll talk a little bit more about these in depth as we go along. Some other things that they had fear about were the potential of the ideas. They're the threat to our social esteem, and or will this idea really work? How long will this venture be? Will it be able to carry over into generational wealth, you know? And the biggest thing is the opportunity cost. Honestly, like, what do I have to really give up to get to where I have to go? And some of the other things that we may discuss, or we will discuss a little bit later. But let me dissect some of these first concerns for you. The financial security. At this moment, here's a really great scenario. You graduated school, you have student loans, you've got a family now, you've probably would be classified as middle class. You're able to afford a lifestyle that you think that you're doing really okay. Now, of course, starting a new business venture would seem like a strain, right? But think about this, the financial security that you may have now, there's no guarantee. If you start a business though, at this moment, it may be a little bit hard, but over time, the goal is always so that this business will be able to take over your present job. And you will be able to now employ other people to do what you do and leverage other people's time and other people's money. So then guess what? You won't later on in the future, you won't have to worry about financial security. The business itself will now give you your time and your freedom. So I think to myself, this is one of the fears. It's just maybe just something that's just, I don't know, it's just a thought. Actually, Mark Twain said something similar to this. It says, when you face your fears, the death of fear is certain. So that's why I wanted to go over this particular topic, because sometimes we let these feelings hold us back instead of even trying or attempting. And then years from now, we always end up regretting it. Okay, the ability to fund your venture. There are so many ways. One of the biggest ways that entrepreneur or small business owner is with family or friends. Family and friends are the first people who normally believe in you. And or you could, over time, save. We talked about it in last episode and the episode before, where you will save 10% and you really wouldn't miss it. And then over a period of time, then you will be able to fund whatever business venture that you want to. And it would really cause no real strain on you to be able to do that. Your personal abilities and your self-esteem. Again, I don't claim to know everything, and I know whatever business venture that you want to do, you probably have a little bit more idea, because this is something that you most likely been thinking about, been wanting to do. And you would have most likely have researched a lot of topics on it. What I normally tell people is, when you're starting a business, it is so important first to do a business plan. The reason I say to do a business plan, and a lot of people call me all the time, it's like, well, help me to do a business plan. What I really like when entrepreneurs or small business owners, you do it yourself. A lot of people that I recommend this to, they're like, no, well, let me just jump straight in and do it. Pause a second, breathe, put your ideas on paper. I like the idea of a business plan because it also gives you a simulation without actually putting a lot of money into it. And when you do, there's a part in your business plan where you do a SWOT analysis. And when you do a SWOT analysis, which is the strength, the weaknesses, the opportunity, the trend, the threats of whatever your ideas are, that right there will allow you to really see a big picture of what it is that you're looking to do. And when you do it, it's not that when you get to the threats of your business, you're like, wait, hold up, I can do it, I can't do it. Is that when you get to that part, is for you to now find different ways of how to counter it. So after you see these things or these potential threats to your organization or to your business, then you would find ways on how to counter it, on how to really have your business to pass that place or that struggle or that wall. So those are the things that if you did a business plan before, then it would save you before you even do that dive 100% in it. And you could actually see if your business is or have a workable system or format before you go ahead and do it. In doing that business plan, then you'll be able to see if the potential of your idea, what it looks like 2 to 3 years from now. The threat to your social esteem, that part, personally, I'm in a place in my life now, I don't care what people think. So whether you accept me socially or not, it's really up to you. I accept myself. And if I'm doing a business, it's more for my own values and where it is that I see my life going 10, 20 years from now. And a lot of times, these people within your social circle, again, like I said in previous episode, is that they're probably not even going to be there. So the box that they're going to put you in, so what? Let it go. Again, a business plan, in doing this, a business plan will help you to see how well your venture will be able to execute, because you will look at who do you have within your circle will be able to possibly give you a little bit of sweat equity. Who will be able to give you some expertise that you probably not been able to tap into. And guess what? If it's a great idea, you'll be surprised to know how many people are willing to support you in what it is that you're doing. And then again, once it's up and running, there are other people, angel investor, venture capitalist. You know, there are different ways to continue to venture. There are a lot of different ways to continue your venture. Fear itself. Listen, your emotional state, controlling that fear, that anxiety, and not allowing it to hinder you, and not allowing it to stop you from doing it. Again, going right back to that quote, when you face your fear, the death of fear is certain. So breathe. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm going to do it anyways. I was talking to a young man that I'm mentoring, and he was starting this great business, Couture. He wants to be a designer. And I am always so impressed with young people that want to really put themselves out there and to do something amazing and to leave some impact on the world. And so I saw him do like really great ideas and shirts and things. And I said to him, well, what's going on with that? Like, what are you doing? And I could see it on his face that he's afraid. And I say to him, what do you got to lose? It's either you do this, your business, either you do your venture and have your life change within 5 to 10 years of you consistently doing it in a positive way where you're learning and you're growing, or you don't do anything and then you're regretting it 10 years from now. It's like, oh my goodness, I should have started. Oh my goodness, I should have done this. I should have, could have, would have. Do it now. Do it right now. Do it this minute, because your dream, your future self, your future family, your future earnings, your future freedom depends on it. Now, some of the things after you face your fears, what do you learn? You learn how to problem solve. One, the first time you've done it is going to be like, wait, I did that? Like, seriously, me? And once you do that, guess what? The next step, you'll do it again. Baby steps. And the next one, you'll just do it again. And now you create this habit of getting things done and facing your fear and overcoming it. There'll be no fear left. You'll be sitting there looking like, oh, okay. Because you'll learn more about yourself. You'll become stronger. And again, I think it was the last episode I said, when you decide on what it is that you're going to do, the universe opens up and it put all the people in your path to be able to help you, to be able to, for you to go where you need to go. So there's no need to be afraid. All right. Some of the other things that entrepreneurs are afraid of, and afraid of change. Afraid that, listen, my Sunday evening football, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. I like the way my life is, and I don't want to change it. But in order for you to grow, butterflies, there's always change. That's why there's 4 seasons. The world is always changing. Whether you change or grow with it, it is changing. Every moment. It's funny that every single time something happens, then people are like, oh my goodness, I'm afraid technology is going to take over the world. AIs are going to take over the world. It is happening whether you want it to or not. You really don't have any control over it. What you have control over, what it is that you do, what do you do for yourself, what it is that you do for your family, what it is that you do for your future. So become that butterfly, be transformed, and do what's necessary. The next thing, again, we talked about it previously, is we're afraid to fail. We're afraid to fall. this is another analogy that I love to tell people, is that when you're starting anything, don't go in it with the mindset as if that you know it all. Or I have a 3-year-old. He's 3. He's soon to be 4, or he seems like he's going on almost a teenager, really. But when he was learning to walk, that was quite interesting to me because he had no fear of falling. And I talk about him because I was able to really pay attention to him and see how it is with business, right? Take one step forward. A lot of times he took a step, he shook a little bit, he fell, he got up, he had his hand around, moving around until he was able to stand on his 2 little feet, and then he took one step forward. It's funny that when we are starting something new, we as adults, we think that we should know it all. It's like, I am here, I'm a grown-up. It's like, no. You may know it all in your industry that you've done before, but your business now is a brand new little baby. It's a brand new little venture that needs you to take one step at a time and be patient with yourself. Understanding that even though you may think this is the right way to do it and you've done it, it may not always going to work out, and accept that. You may fall, get up, fall quickly, fail forward, and get it done. That's all it is. Even if you fall, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from your future self, from what it is that you're going to do. This is something else that I like to tell people, is that, you know, when it comes to business and your life, it's like God has given us these ideas and these ventures on what it is that we want to do. And walls, failures are there to see who wants it the most. And if you want it the most, you will punch down that wall, you'll climb over it. It'll take you, you will do whatever it takes, whether it's barbed wires, bottles, whatever you've got to crawl through to make it happen, you will. Because your life depends on it. If I've got to do that for my kids or my family, I will. And this is the approach that I have when it comes to failing, changing. We just got to get it done. All right. So the next thing is fear that you don't know enough. Like I said previously, is that nobody knows everything. But guess what? We again live in an age where it's easy to be able to learn something via YouTube, the internet. If it's a book that you need, if it's a class, you can start where you are. It only takes a couple hours a day. If it'll take you 6 months to be able to learn or to get a license for something that you've always wanted to do, it's worth it. So take that time, again, breathe and make it happen for you. And once you know it, guess what? There's always going to be something that you don't know. And approach it the exact same way. Fear of the unknown. Nobody knows what tomorrow will bring. No one. We want to do all this venture, and we say, well, we make plans. We've got vacation next week. We want to know what Thanksgiving will look like, or Valentine's Day is coming up, or we want to know what summer plans will be like with the kids and the family, what vacations we'll take. But it's all a lie. We don't know what the unknown will bring. So, and we make the same plans with our jobs. Why not do the same for your business? Face it. Get it done. We don't know what will happen. We just have to take it one step at a time. I saw this awesome quote that says that every step will reveal as soon as I read in one of John C. Maxwell's book. He said it really so profoundly. He said that when you're driving in a car, especially at night, it doesn't show you the entire way. The light only reveals just ahead for you to go. And you're trusting the path that you're going on, that as soon as you go through, a little bit more will be revealed. And there's no need to be afraid. Listen, if you're going and a deer runs out in front of you, you know time reacts and try to stop. And if you don't, maybe it was something that was preventing you or holding you at that moment, just so that something worse could have happened. That's just how I look at it. That's my mindset when it comes to fear. And I want to share that with you because I want you to be able to have that same mindset, knowing that everything happens at the right time, within God's time, and it's always for the best purpose of me. I always say that it's like my life is full of abundance because of that. Because when people or when things happen that we think to ourselves that, oh my goodness, say we know somebody that's supposed to or can help us and they're not. For whatever reason, they've chosen not to help us, right? Or they've decided not to help us. Great. And not just that they've decided not to help us. What if that same person is going around telling a lot of terrible things about you because you've decided that you wanted to explore or you wanted to start a new business venture to be able to turn other people's idea against you? What I always say is that what they don't know is that when they throw dirt on you, they didn't realize you were a seed, so you will grow. Trust me and trust that. You will grow. Again, God will put all the right things in your path, and you must face your fears, so the death of fear is certain. Now, the other thing is some people don't want to commit to business expenses. Do you know that it's tax time? When it comes to tax time, and I touched on this briefly, is that when you've got a job and the next step is to start a side hustle, whether you're sole proprietor or LLC, C Corp, or S Corp, it is one of the best things to be able to start a business. And start a business and try to grow a business using the extra fund from your paycheck. Because at the end of the year, these business expenses you get to write off, regardless of what it is. And it ends up really benefiting you. And those are things that people don't even know. Multi-level marketing is one of those things that when I first started out, that's one of the businesses that I got involved in to be able to start learning and understanding when it comes to business expenses, the tax credits. And it didn't take a lot to be able to even start a venture like that. And a lot of times with the way technology is, even starting your own venture is not going to take a lot out of you. A lot of you spend a lot of time on social media anyways. Market yourself, market your business, tell people about it. This is one of the easiest ways, and it will help you to reduce expenses too. And again, when writing your business plan or in your business plan, you're able to see these things before you actually dive into your business to be able to do it. So that alone will take away that fear. The fear of taking the risk. Here goes the thing. Another thing when it comes to the business plan, your business plan will give you a projection. 3 to 5 years. When you put those 3 to 5 years in and you see potentially how much money you can make, how many customers that you have, how much things that you'll be able to sell, whether it's your service, whether it's something that you're creating. Listen, the risk will be worth it. 100% it will be worth it. Not just now. Remember, 3 to 5 years, that's where we're looking out. From now is how we could change our lives in taking this risk, in facing our fears, in doing what we must for our families. The time is going to happen whether we want it or not. In 5 years, it's going to be 2028. The question is, what will you do from now until then? What will your future 5 years look like? What will the risk that you take today how will it benefit you? Or on the contrary, if you don't take the risk, what will happen? It's all the same. Listen, the fear of disappointing others. I also touched on this previously, is that one of the biggest things, it's family and friends. When I talked about doing it alone, if you don't have that strong support system immediately, right? I'm not worried about someone else. I'm worried about disappointing me. When I lay in my bed at night, am I okay in not using the gifts that God gave me? Am I okay in knowing that I got everything that I need in starting this venture? The time I could put away entertainment, I could do great, I could do good for myself 3 to 5 years from now if I'm able to do the sacrifice now. Disappointing others, again, like I told you before, is that the people that are, oh my goodness, you don't have time to hang out with me. You don't have the time to do what I want you to do. 3 to 5 years, it won't matter. Or they'll be on board. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that you didn't listen to me. I'm so proud that you did this. And they're the ones that will be calling you, asking you for help, asking you to lend them money. That's the funny part. And oh my goodness, I wish I'd listened. But at the end of the day, will they be doing it still? Probably not. So it's up to you to change your family and your generational wealth. So get started and don't let fear hold you back. All right. Fear of being pushed in an uncomfortable situation. Where you are now is already uncomfortable. One, because how are you going to... We're living in an environment now where rent and expense have gone to a ridiculous amount. Now, 5-10 years from now, when you're 5 to 10 years older, what you're going to do, get 3-4 jobs while gas price and food prices are doubling and tripling. Is this a comfortable situation now? It's not. So do what you need to do to be able to actually say that I've made a change, or a little change that will be able to benefit you. And this compounding effect that we talked about, it's like not just the saving. It's like you're investing in your future self. It will pay off. How long this comfortable situation is going to be, even if you're in a great job. I know a lot of people the other day when Microsoft laid off a lot of its employees, and you see Twitter, a lot of these big companies are doing the same thing. And a lot of these brick and mortar stores are closing. And there are a lot of companies that are shifting their jobs overseas. Are you going to be one of those, like, bring my job back? Like this other book, like Who Moved My Cheese? You'll sit there and the 3 cheeses are going around in circles, and the rat trying to find new cheese. It's like, because they're comfortable, you're going to be hitting your head up on the wall. It's like, bring my cheese back, when you can sit here and literally create a new future for yourself and your family by facing your fears and doing it anyways, and using the gifts that God has given you. Listen, the fear of being wrong. Can you believe that? But that is what people, well, I've had it. I've made a lot of decisions when it comes to business and personal decisions. And honestly, I thought to myself, what if I'm wrong? Like, what if and then here's my answer. If I'm wrong in trying this business idea or this business venture, what's the worst that will happen? I will be right back here. Okay, so I've got nothing to lose. But if it works out, I'll be that much better. Wait. And I did it. That is how you face your fears. You don't know if you're wrong or you're right, because again, it's an unknown territory. Unless you do it, go ahead and try it. Then you can say, it worked. It didn't work. and continue to move forward. Fear that I am not good enough. That's an internal thing. And this is why one of the biggest things even with the titles that we're going over is that I want you to know that you've got everything inside of you. This is about shifting and shaping your mindset first into creating your own business and creating your own business venture, knowing that we live in a world where ideas are everywhere. What is lacking is people problem solving, going out there, doing it, getting it done, trying, failing, trying, failing, trying, failing, and continue moving forward. That's what is lacking. Too many people want to sit and have conversations as if, and go out and party all the time and celebrate like we've done something amazing. It's Friday, Saturday, and we want to hang out. And then when it comes to Sunday, go to work Monday, we hate our jobs and we're really not doing anything about it. And if you start today, over time, you'll take just a little bit of that time that you're partying, you're watching television, you're doing entertainment stuff. Do your own stuff. Do you. Create your business. Get it started. Get the tax breaks. And even with the tax breaks, the part where you're afraid that you don't have enough or you don't have enough money to be able to do it, use the money that you'll get from those tax breaks and put it aside for your business. And when you do, continue to do that and invest it into your business. Continue to market it. Continue to tell people. Touch one person at a time and tell them. And this one will tell this one. And add value. One of the biggest things into doing business that I always tell people is that make sure you add value. And once you add value, the money will come. I never work for money. I want to be able to create an impact on your life. I want to be able to add to you. I want to be able to breathe life into you. I want to be able to help you. And once I'm able to help somebody, then the universe will reward you monetarily or whatever it is that you need. A lot of us go out and because this is about fulfillment and our purpose and us being really, truly being fulfilled and happy at the end of the day. Now, a lot of us think that money is really what will do it for us, but it won't. It doesn't matter how much money. It will make your life a little bit easier. Yes, you'll be able to afford things financially that you think you never was able to do. But at the end of the day, when you lay your head and that truly state of being happy, of being satisfied, of knowing that I've done a great thing and I've impacted the world, I've touched somebody's life today, that's the feeling that I want to be able to say that I've done for you. And when that happens, money will flow. Everything will flow. Everything will flow straight to you. You don't have to chase money. When you chase money, money runs away from you. You sit down, you're good, kind, it's like karma, you know? When you're good, kind, and you do good to people, then you are rewarded just the same way. So that's the mindset I want us to be able to have within this community of adding value, creating a greater impact on the world, not just for now. This is why I always say 3 to 5 years. This is not about, oh my goodness, this is not a get rich quick. It isn't. It's about changing your mindset so that you have a growth mindset. You can conquer your fears. You can learn what it is that you need to one step at a time so that 5, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you could pass on these lessons or these gems to your family, to your children, to your grandchildren, and to be able to say that, hey, I learned these great things and I'd like to teach you. And this is how we're able to change our community one step at a time and to be able to change generational wealth. And one of the final things that I want to touch on is what fears that a lot of us have as entrepreneurs is saying no and or hearing the word no. For instance, if it's a new business, so you're trying to get, say, funds. You've depleted what you've got and you're trying to get friends or family involved or an angel investor. A lot of times you'll hear more no's than you will hear yes. Go through the no's. There's a game I used to play with my kids when they were really young. And myself, I never liked it. I didn't like it, but it was something that I know that we needed to know and master in business. It always bothered me growing up when people say that, oh my goodness, I'm in sales, until I came across Brian Tracy. He is a wonderful, wonderful author, and he's taught me, or Zig Ziglar, some of these great people that everybody sells themselves, sell themselves, whether it's your service, who you are, whether it's your product. Don't be ashamed of that. Because when you meet somebody, whether it's a relationship, you're actually selling yourself. It's like, oh my goodness, if you're trying to get a job, you're selling yourself. We don't look at it that way, but you're always doing it. So don't be afraid that somebody said, well, somebody rejects what it is that you're presenting. Maybe they're not ready for it. Maybe the world, or maybe your circle is not even ready for it. Because a lot of times we're given visions, we're given gifts that not everybody gets to see, right? Another thing when I talked about afraid of saying no is that you should say no to people when it comes to them trying to impose on your time and your energy, especially when you're trying to go someplace into creating a business or creating the life that you want. Hey, can you hang out today? No, I cannot. I've got a book that I need to read because the fear of the unknown, I need to now start to know. Oh my goodness, can you hang out with me? Or no, I cannot, because I've got to make those calls. I have to make my agenda. I've got to make that time schedule for myself and for my business the same way. Or if you're selling stuff online, I've got to get my orders out. These things are more important for your future self than anything else, really. And that's what should matter to you as you continue on your venture into becoming an entrepreneur, into making business your life. And again, remember, whatever it is that's holding you back, face your fears, feel it anyways, that anxiety. Breathe, see it the way you want it to, reshape it, visualize it, get your vision boards together, read, learn more, do your business plan, and get it done. Fear has no place in your future. I'm Dr. Lydia, and thank you for watching this episode. See you next time on the Dr. Lydia Show.